Let's go back at it. Colorado Rockies 2025 replay. The Rockies Horror Baseball Show is at game number 6. Rockies are 0-5, yet to win a game. Come close once, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say. So they're going to try it again. Final game of the series against the Philadelphia Phillies. And they will send Antonio Sensatella to the mound. He had lost his first game. His record is 0-1 on the replay with an ERA of 6.23. Sensatella looking for that first win. But he's going to have to do it against Taijuan Walker, who will make his first start of the 2025 season for the Phillies. But they might have a chance. He's 5-8 with a 4.08 ERA, so he's the worst pitcher of the Phillies that they could face. He's got the worst record and worst ERA, so if they're going to do it, now might be the time. We shall see. One thing I forgot to do, I did this stuff in advance, but I forgot to put the ratings in for whatever reason. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I'd set this sheet up in advance, and for whatever reason, I forgot to put the defensive ratings in. So let me write those in real quick. Let's see, Doyle 1 -3 E3 and a 16. Ezekiel Tovar 2 E16 and a 13. Ryan McMahon at third base is a 1 E10 with a 12. Goodman, the catcher, is actually going to DH in this game. He's an 11. Tolley is a 3 E6 with a speed of 11. Hello, Ben. Nick Martini in right field, 4-0 E2. Ben, I got my new Strat-O-Matic package this afternoon, which is why I did not do this game this afternoon, because I was too busy breaking down new cards and figured better to put the recorded version of the golf game up this afternoon instead of tonight. So that's what's going on with that. I did record the unboxing. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it out there or not. I did kind of lampoon some of the goings on in YouTube in that unboxing. Not just in the Cards and Dice community, but other YouTube as well. Just some observations. So I may or may not do that yet. In fact, let me, I'll show you. I can pull it up here. Let me get to my videos that are private, as of now at least. And I'll show you the title, and then you can tell me whether you think I ought to post it or not. You can let me know, Ben. There's the title: Unboxing Strat-O-Matic First Wow and Other Clickbait Words Others Love to Use. So that's going to be that was the title I chose. I can always edit the title, of course, but that's kind of the vibe of the unboxing. So I may put it out there, I may not. I haven't decided yet. So it was more of a parody than anything else. As we finish up these ratings for the Phillies. I don't know how I managed to do all this and not fill in the ratings, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Do have the game up on the Action PC computer, so I'm able to get the stats as of the first 5 games for the Rockies, just to see how porous they are doing. Now we are set. Okay, everything's in place now. Larry said the video out. Okay, I will do that tomorrow. I recorded this afternoon. I will do that tomorrow. At some point, probably tomorrow afternoon, after I do the 87 game tomorrow morning. I'll probably put it out then. It's not very long. I mean, the video itself, anything or you know, uncellophane anything. I just briefly talked about what I got, and that was it. It's only 12 and a half minute video, so it's not very long at all. But you know, I kind of said my piece in there, I guess. I guess I said my piece in there because I didn't think it was gonna. I didn't record it with the effect of. I recorded it with the feeling that I wasn't going to publish it. So I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, I've got a better one for Bathroom Blast, and that is History Maker Poops. I renamed it History Maker Poops to be in line with History Maker Hoops. History Maker Hoops. It's probably some sort of fast action EP or something you can use for that. I don't know. Or you could find out, the desired guy determines whether the guy's a squirter or not. You know, there's all kinds of variations you could do with that, I suppose. All right, back to the game at hand. Colorado is 0-5. They're going for the first win. Sensatella 0-1 with a 6.23 ERA after one start. And now they're facing Taijuan Walker of the Phillies. And leadoff hitter Brent Doyle has been putrid, to say the least. Brent Doyle is hitting 091 on the replay. No homers or runs batted in. In 22 at-bats, he's hitting 091. That's about as bad as I can imagine it for a leadoff hitter who's supposed to get on base. That's supposed to be the gist of the whole thing, is to get on base. But he's not doing it so far. I don't know if you were here earlier a few minutes ago, RJL. Welcome to you, by the way. But I did record a Strat-O-Matic unboxing video this afternoon, but I was kind of hesitant to put it out on YouTube because I did kind of lampoon and maybe I'm not sure if lampoon's the right word for it. Now I'm drawing a blank on what the right word is for it. Maybe lampoon is the right word for it. Others on YouTube who do unboxings and who do video, period, and some of the things they do. So not just in baseball, or not just people we know, but other people that I've seen on YouTube, period, just other channels in general. And so I don't know. I may put it out there. I may not. I haven't decided yet. I've gotten a couple of votes, people wanting me to do it, so I may go ahead and do it. And if it pisses people off, you know what? I really don't care. I'm retired. When you're retired, you know, when you retire, you just don't give a crap anymore. I'm telling you right now. When you retire, you just don't give a crap. And I'm, you know, that's about where I am at right now. So anyway, here's Brenton Doyle, and that's a 4-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. We are looking at Castellanos. He's a 4. 4 and a 5. That could drop. In fact, I believe it will drop. I think it's almost guaranteed to drop. Might even be a double, but I think it's probably just a single. 4-5 is a single. So Doyle will actually get a hit, believe it or not. Castellanos cannot make an error, so we won't even roll for that. But it is a single for Brenton Doyle. That's pretty much my philosophy there, Ben. And Robert, I'll show this too. I showed it to the guys that were in here early, but this is the title for the video. If I can pull it up here. Let me get it up here on my screen. Make sure it works here. Robert, there's the title for my video. Unboxing Strat-O-Matic, first look, wow, and other clickbait words others love to use. That's the title of my unboxing video. So I'm thinking I'm going to upload it tomorrow probably tomorrow afternoon after my 87 game. All right, here is Brenton Doyle, who just singled. Now he's going to look for a lead. Taijuan Walker is a +2 hold. Realmuto's a -3, so he's a -1. But even at a -1, if he gets the lead, it's a 1-16. So Doyle is going to try for the lead. That's a 2 possible balk on Taijuan Walker, but he's a 0 balk. But what it means is he cannot get the good lead now. He's frozen at first base. So that'll bring up Ezekiel Tovar. He's hitting 286 on the replay in 21 at bats. 2 homers, 2 runs batted in. Here's Tovar, 612. Ground ball second base X. They were holding Doyle on, so Bryson Stott will now be a 2E4 versus a 1E4. 2 and a 10 may not make a difference. Might not. 2 and a 10. 2 and a 10 is a G1, so it didn't make a difference. Stott's an E4. The only way he makes an error is 3, 17, and 18. And he does not make the error. That is a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play to start the game. Right away, first opportunity for it, and we get a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you have any tailoring needs and you're in that area, be sure to check them out. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They're the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game. So 2 quick outs after that ray of hope with a leadoff single. That's now quickly faded. So now Ryan McMahon. McMahon is hitting 316 on the replay, a homer and 1 driven in 19 at bats. McMahon 2-7, and that's a strikeout. And that'll do it. So the ray of hope, the little light of hope that they had, the light at the end of the tunnel, turned out to be a train, and they got run over with it. So no score. We'll go to the bottom of the first, and Anthony Sensatella on the replay has had 1 start. He's 0-1 with a 6.23 ERA for Anthony Sensatella. And he's going to face Kyle Schwarber to lead things off. And Schwarber in each of the first 2 games has hit home runs. 5-10, and that's a ballpark single check. It's the 1-8 for a left-handed hitter. And it's an 8 right on the nose. So Schwarber gets the leadoff single. No threat to run, but he does get the leadoff single. And here is Trey Turner. That's a 2. Possible balk or pass ball. We're looking at the pass ball rating on Stallings. And Stallings' pass ball rating is a 2. So a 1 or 2. No pass ball. Here's Turner. 310 for Turner, and that's another ballpark single check. This time only a 1-2, though, for right-handers. And that's going to be, I'm going to call it a liner to short. 1 away. And that brings up Bryce Harper, first baseman. And that is a 310 for Harper, and that's a solid double to left field. Schwarber does not run well, so he will hold at third base. Runners at second and third. Only 1 out for Alec Boehm. Infield for the Rockies is going to come in, try to choke the runoff. 4-2. That is a fly ball right field B, so it's not going to matter. It's a sacrifice fly. And coming in to score is Schwarber. 1-0 Phillies to start here in the bottom of the first. 2 outs, Harper at second. Clutch situation for Max Kepler. Kepler in the clutch. Loses a hit on 212 and 310. 6-7, lefty. That's a single, 2 stars. Harper's going to score. It's 2-0 Phillies. And the horror continues. Will the Rockies ever win a game? That's the question. It's not the question, can they win 9 out of the 59? The question is, can they win any? 1-6, and that's a strikeout to finally end the inning. 2 runs come in for the Phillies. They jump out to a 2-0 lead. And up first is Hunter Goodman, arguably the best hitter for the Rockies in the replay thus far. He's hitting .400 in 20 at-bats with 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. So he's been a lot of their offense. 1-5, and this time, though, he will strike out. Second strikeout for Walker brings up Michael Toglia. Toglia hitting 167 on the replay, a homer and 3 driven in. That is a 2-7, and that's a base on balls. First walk issued by Taijuan Walker. And that'll bring up Nick Martini, right fielder. Martini hitting 182, 1 for 11. I'm sorry, not 1 for 11, 2 for 11. And no homers and a run batted in. That is a 6-12 lefty. That's a ground ball second base X. They were not holding Toglia on. Wouldn't matter since it went to second anyway. So Stott's a 1E4. Chance for another Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play. 1 and a 17 is a G1. Just checking the E4. He's got to avoid 3, 17, and 18. And he does. It's another Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play of the game. The second 4-6-3 double play of the game in as many innings. And the Rockies just can't catch a break. Bottom of the second. I kind of like this futility, though. It's kind of, in a weird way, it's kind of fun. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you. It's kind of fun. All right, here is Sensatella, 6-6, and that's a walk. That is the first walk issued by Sensatella. Now, Realmuto, let's see, Sensatella is a -2, Stallings a -1 for a -3. So with that being the case, I think Realmuto will hold. So Bryson Stott, the batter. See what he can do. That is a 111, and that is a ballpark single check. Again, 1 to 8 for a lefty, and that's a 6, base hit. First and second, nobody out for Brandon Marsh, the center fielder. If you remember Brandon Marsh, he's got that real long beard. At least I think he does. I know he used to. I'm assuming he still does. Used to play for the Angels, I believe. That's a 5-4. Ground ball third base X. This could be a double play, as McMahon is a 1. He's a 1E10. So if he can get that good number on the D20, yep, 1 and a 17. That's definitely a G1. E10, he's got to avoid the 10. So he's got to avoid 13, 17, and 18. He's got to avoid 13, 17, and 18, which he does. So it's going to be an around the horn 5-4-3 double play. So one good double play to turn deserves another, I guess. So Realmuto goes to third, but now there are 2 outs for Kyle Schwarber, leadoff hitter. Clutch situation for Schwarber. 6-11 at first, and Toglia will take it to the bag himself. And Sensatella pitches out of the inning thanks to the double play. Now that'll bring up the bottom of the order, Jacob Stallings doing the catching to allow Goodman to DH. So Stallings is hitting 250 on the replays, 1 for 4. 3-7, and he's going to ground it to short, where Trey Turner will take care of it. And that'll bring up Mickey Moniak. Moniak is hitting 250 as well, also 1 for 4. That one hit was a home run. It was a 2-run homer. 1 homer, 2 runs batted in. 2-9, and he's going to line it right to Trey Turner. 2 down for Tyler Freeman. Freeman hitting 750 on the replay, 3 for 4 with a run batted in. Of course, limited duty. 4-4, and that is a ground ball to short, but it's wearing Trey Turner out over there. Trey Turner is a 2E10. 2 and 18, he gets to that. E10 is a shortstop. 16, 17, and 18 are what he's got to avoid. And he does just that. So Turner takes care of all 3 outs for the Rockies. To the bottom of the third, still 2-0. And Turner, after all that work, gets to lead off the next inning. Sensatella to Turner. That's a 4-7, and that's a single, 1 to 19. 1 to 19 single. That's going to be a 3, so that's a base hit. Now Turner's looking to get the lead. He needs a 2 through 5 or a 12. Doesn't get it, he'll hold. So that'll send us to Bryce Harper. 6-11. That's a ground ball first base B. They get the force on Turner. 3-6. Harper, the new runner, and he's going to try for the lead. Needs a 7 to get the lead. And he gets it. 19 being held as a 17, -3 is a 14. 1-14, he steals it. And he's out, caught stealing. Good throw from Stallings as they throw out Harper. Now there's 2 outs, base is empty for Alex Bohm. Hello, OZ or Oz. I'm not sure how you prefer to be called. Let's see here. What do we got here? 2-7. 2-7 for Bohm as a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. That's a second strikeout for Sensatella. Score remains 2-0 Phillies after 3. Oz is fine. Very good. I will keep that in mind. Easy to remember. All right, here is Taijuan Walker. Of course, when I hear the word Oz, that 2 things come to mind. First, the Wizard of Oz, and second is that prison show Oz. Very familiar with the Wizard of Oz, only vaguely familiar with the prison show. All right, here is Brenton Doyle. 5-4. And that's a ground ball third base X. That's Bohm. He's a 3-E-8. 3 and 18 is good all day. E8 at third base. Has to avoid 3, and then 15 through 18. And that's a 16. That'll be an error. Bohm on an E8 and a 16. That's a 1 base error on Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm is going to allow Doyle to come on again, and now Doyle's going to try for the lead once more. Needs a 4 or a 6 to obtain the lead. Doesn't get it, he'll hold. I haven't used the Barnes & Noble charts yet, but I think what I'm going to do for when I do the basic Sunday basic game, I think I'm going to pull those charts out and use them, because I don't use advanced charts. I always use super advanced, but when I do the basic game on Sunday, I think I'm going to pull out those green and white charts just to use them, just to be different. Here's Tovar. That's a 3-6 for Tovar, and that is a strikeout. 1 away. And for Walker, that is his 3rd strikeout. That'll bring up Ryan McMahon, 3rd baseman. That's a 5-10. Ballpark single check, 1-8 for McMahon. And that's a 4. It's going to get a base hit. Rockies might have something cooking, 1st and 2nd. Yeah, Ben, I never liked that sequence either. And then some other people try to tell me that I was playing it wrong, that if it wasn't a pass ball, then you shouldn't have the pop out either. It should be a re-roll. And I was like, well, I never saw that in the rules. So, but yeah, it was just, and I was getting too many errors on the advanced chart. I like the charts that ID Jester made. They're very nice. Yes, I do. Very appreciative that he shared them with me. All right, here's Hunter Goodman. Got a chance to make something happen. 4-11, and that's a ballpark blast. Goodman, normal power. It's 1-11. We would have a 3-run home run for Goodman on a 1-11. And it's gone. Hunter Goodman, a 3-run home run, and the Rockies take a 3-2 lead. We've seen this movie before, too, where they've taken a lead and then blown it. So, got to take it with a grain of salt. For Goodman, that's his third home run of the replay here in Game 6. He also now has 9 runs batted in. He's been pretty much the whole offense for the Rockies. Here's Tolia. That's a 3-5 for Tolia. That's a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Walker. So 2 of those runs are earned. That 1 run is unearned. Here's Nick Martini. 4-8, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. So we got a 3-2 ball game. I was thinking about contacting Brendan Swordsby to see if he wanted to put a bet on when the Rockies will win their first game. Haven't heard back from him yet, though. All right, here is Max Kepler. Now that Sensatella has a lead, 5-7. That's a base hit. So here come the Phillies. So the lead may not last very long for the Rockies. Nick Castellanos. That is a 6-10, and that's a catcher X. So that is going to be the catcher, Jacob Stallings. Stallings is a 3-1, so pretty good. Does have to watch out and not get the pass ball or the wild pitch if possible. 3-17 should be safe. It's a G3, so the runner will advance. E1, the only error is on 17, and there is no 17 there, so it's going to be a 2-3 ground out with the runner advancing to second base. So 1 down, and Riamuto, the batter. Tying run is in scoring position. Sensatella. 1-7, that's a strikeout, his third. And yes, Tabby is right here with me, watching the festivities. Hey, Brian B., good to see you. Here's Stott in a clutch situation. Stott in the clutch. Let's see, he's neutral all the way. All right, 4-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. And that's going to be Mr. Tovar. He's a 2E16. 212, he'll get to that. And an E16 as a shortstop. He has to avoid 14 and 17. He certainly should be able to do that. And he does, and that's going to end the inning. So the Rockies maintain the lead after 4 innings. It's 3-2 as they seek their first win of the season. Taijuan Walker, this will be his fatigue inning. And it's going to be Stallings, Moniak, and Freeman due up. That's a 6-6, and that is a 1-4 single. Anything else, he lines to second. And that's a 5. He's going to line it to second. Here is Mickey Moniak. 3-9, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 6 for Mr. Walker. Here's Tyler Freeman. 4-7, and that is a ground ball to third to end the inning. So that means Taijuan Walker will keep full endurance into the 6th inning. We go to Sensatella. This is his fatigue inning as well. Inning number 5. He'll be facing Brandon Marsh to lead off. That's a 5-9, and that's a ground ball to second. 1 away. And here is Kyle Schwarber. They kept him in the ballpark so far. 3-6, and it's a fly to center, so 2 down. Tabby's putting her paw up here like she wants to jump up on the table, but I'm definitely discouraging that. Here's Trey Turner. 5-5. That's a strikeout for Sensatella. There's a dot there, but he's not tired. So he will keep full endurance into the 6th. So both starters will go into the 6th inning. Score 3-2. Nip and tuck so far. Due up for the Rockies, top of the order, Brenton Doyle. He is singled and reached on an error. She's not quite been. She's got her second half coming on Saturday. We did half now, and half will be on Saturday. 3-10, and that's ground ball to short. So I don't really want to show her on the video because right now she's kind of like an unmade bed because she's kind of, half and half done. Here's Tovar, 1-8, and that's a fly to right, but she just won't sit still long enough to do the whole thing at one sitting. So we were lucky to get halfway done on it. She has a lot, and we cut off a lot of hair. There's still a lot to go. We got most of it done, but she definitely needs some touch-ups for sure. All right, here's McMahon. He singled his last time up. 6-7, and that's a 1 for a double. Anything else he singles. And that'll be 0-2. He barely missed it. But he gets a 2-out single, his second hit of the game. And now that brings up their best hitter, Hunter Goodman. Chance to do more damage. And that is a 5-9, but he will ground to short, and that'll do it. And that'll be it for Taijuan Walker. His first start of the year, you're not going to overextend him. Goes 6 innings. Gives up 3 runs, 2 are earned. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Strikes out 6. And he walks just the 1, just Tolia. So that's going to do it for Walker, and they will go to their bullpen for the top of the 7th. And it looks like they're going to a left-hander out of their bullpen. And that would be Jose Alvarado. As they used the lefty Strom last game, so they're going to use Alvarado this game, at least give him the first shot at it. So Jose Alvarado will be the new pitcher in the 7th. Right now, Sensatella going for his 6th inning. If they can get 6 innings out of him with the lead, they'd be ecstatic. Here's Bryce Harper. That's a 6-10, and that's a catcher X. We're going back to Stallings. He is a 3 with an E1. Nobody's on base. So a 3 and a 16 is going to be a foul out. And unless we roll a 17, he's going to make the catch. And we're not going to roll a 17 because we didn't get up high enough there. So Harper's going to foul out to Stallings. 1 away. Here's Alec Bohm. That's a 4-11, and that's going to be a ballpark blast for Alec Bohm. 1-11, we would have a tie ball game. And it is. Alec Bohm, home run, ties the game at 3. All tied up at 3. Here's Max Kepler, and now the bullpen for the Rockies starting to stir. And they have right-hander Jake Bird loosening in the bullpen. They're going to hope the bird's the word. 3-6 for Kepler. Lines out to McMahon at third base. 2 down for Castellanos. 3-9, and that's a single to right field for Castellanos. 2-out single. And that brings up JT Realmuto. This might be the last batter that Sensatella gets to face. 5-9, and that's a strikeout, so he's going to go out in style. We're going to cap Sensatella at 6 innings. He's going to go out in style, and he will get a no decision. Or actually, he could win it if the Rockies take the lead in the 7th, but he can't lose it. That's the main thing. Sensatella 6 innings, gives up 3 runs. That is a quote-unquote quality start. 1, 2, 3. I think it's the first quote-unquote quality start of this replay for the Rockies. I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. And he gives up 1 walk, it looks like. Just the 1 walk. Striking out 5. So it looks like, well, actually, it won't be Bird because they have 3 lefties coming up to the Rockies, or to the Phillies. So they will go to their bullpen for Scott Alexander, a left-hander. He will get the call. Scott Alexander. He will be coming on, and again, the rule is they have to face 3 batters. So even if he gets waxed on the first 2 batters, he's got to stay in and face 3. So -2 on the hold. Okay. So coming in to pitch for the Phillies, Jose Alvarado. He was 4-2 with a 3.81 ERA and 7 saves, real world. And he's on to face Tolia, Martini, and Stallings. Those are the scheduled hitters for the Rockies here in the 7th of a 3-3 tie. 3 runs. Let's see how many hit. 3 runs, 8 hits. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error, or no errors for the Rockies, and 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Phillies so far. 6-9 for Tolia. He's now turned around batting right-handed, so that's a walk. Tolia will draw the leadoff walk. Brings up Nick Martini. Martini does not do much against left-handed pitching. So it looks like they're going to their bench to get a right-hander to come in. And that right-hander is going to be Jordan Beck. So Beck will take over from Martini. Martini only faced left-handers 4% of the time. So they're going to get him out of there, and they're going to go to Jordan Beck. And Jordan Beck will stay in the game to play left field. Actually, he'll stay in the game to play left, and I believe Moniak will take over in right, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Moniak will switch to right field. So Moniak will move over to right field, and coming in to play left field will be Beck. Beck is now in left field, and he's a 3-2 E2, or E4 rather, I'm sorry, E4, speed of a 14. All right, so Jordan Beck to pinch hit. Beck with the runner at first and nobody out, step to the plate. Nobody on the bench can bunt, so there's no sense in me trying to bunt. 3-12 against the lefter, and that's a ground ball, shortstop A. That's the 3rd Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game. I think as Ben or somebody mentioned earlier, Giovanni's is getting plenty of return on investment on their advertising dollar, with that being the 3rd Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game. Here's Jacob Stallings. That's a 5-7 for Stallings, and that's a ground ball to second base. Stott. It's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. E4 and a 14. I doubt that's an issue at second base. And E4. Nope, only 17 and 18 are problems, so good play there. And so Alvarado, he pitches his 1 inning, gives up a walk, nothing else, gets the double play to be induced. Now we go to the 7th inning stretch here at Citizens Bank Park. And the new pitcher is Scott Alexander, 1-1 with a 6.11 ERA in real world. Just 18 innings pitched, and then he gets released, and San Francisco picks him up later. Right now it's with the Rockies. And he'll be facing Stott, Marsh, and Schwarber, 3 left-handed hitters. Rice and Stott to lead it off. That is a 2-8 for Stott, and he's going to fly to center. 1 away. Brandon Marsh. That is a 5-11, and that's a fly ball left field X. That's Moniak. I'm sorry, that's a Beck who just came into the game. He's a 3-4. Tell you, bring a new fielder in, the ball will find you. He is a 3-4. 3-19 is good all day long. E4 just has to avoid 3, 4, 15, and 18, which he does quite well. 2 up, 2 down. For Kyle Schwarber, the ever-dangerous Kyle Schwarber. Even against lefties, he hits home runs. 1-9, and there we go, right on cue. I jinxed it right there, 1-9. 1-9 against lefties. It's gone. Phillies take the lead 4-3. Kyle Schwarber has hit a home run in each of the 3 games now. And now here's Trey Turner with 2 outs and the bases empty. 5-5. And that's an in-home run chance off Alexander, and that's gone. Back-to-back jacks. 5-5 was an in-home run, and you know Turner has the normal power, so it's gone. It's now 5-3 Phillies. And here's Bryce Harper. He doesn't get Harper, he's gone. And Bird would come in. 2-4, ground ball to second, that'll do it. But Jake Bird will come in to pitch the 8th inning. Alexander's going to go 1 inning, give up 2 hits. They were 2 home runs. 1 by Schwarber, 1 by Turner, both back-to-back. And we go to the 8th inning with a score of 5-3 Phillies. And we'll see who the Phillies want to bring in from their bullpen to pitch the 8th. Coming up for the Rockies, we got Moniak, Freeman, and Doyle, a lefty and 2 righties. So with the 2 righties, I believe they're going to go with Orion Kerkering, I guess is how you say it. Kerkering is on. He's a +3, which negates the -3 and makes that a 0. In the 25 season, 8-4, 3.30 ERA, and 4 saves. And he'll be facing Moniak, Freeman, and Doyle, scheduled hitters. 5-3 Phillies. 3-4. Oops, didn't have Moniak's card up there. Gonna have to have that. And look at that, just in time, Moniak hits a home run. Do you believe that? He greets Kerkering with a home run, 3-4 against the right-handed pitching, and that is gone. 3-4, Moniak hits the home run. For Mickey Moniak, I believe that's his first because he's had limited duty. I'll double check it. I'll verify it. Yep, that's his second home run. He's only had like 7 or 8 at bats, but that's his second home run, his 3rd run batted in. So Moniak, home run number 2 on the replay. RBI number 3 cuts the lead to 5-4. And now that brings up Tyler Freeman. That's a 5-10. That's a ground ball shortstop X. Turner is a 2E10. 2 and a 9. He'll get to that. E10. Because 2 and a 9 is a G2. E10, he has to avoid 16, 17, and 18, basically, which he does. So Turner makes the play. 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Brenton Doyle. 4-11, and that's a fly to center. Hauled in by Marsh. 2 down for Ezekiel Tovar. That's a 5-10. Again, ground ball shortstop X, and again, Turner 2E10. 2 and a 5, I think you'll still get to that. 2 and a 5 is a G3. E10 again, 16, 17, and 18. And no problem for Turner. That will end the inning. Rockies get a run to cut it to 5-4. That's going to be it for Kerkering. He goes 1 inning. Gives up a hit and a run. And now we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Jake Bird, the new pitcher for the Rockies. Jake Bird. 4-2 on the real season with a 5.53 ERA. He will eventually end up in the Yankees with them later in the season. Not sure if it's a trade or waiver or what it was. And he'll be facing Alec Boehm, who had a big home run that tied the game at the time in the 6th for the Phillies. So we'll see how they do that. Alec Boehm. That's a 1-9 for Boehm. Fouls out. 2 Stallings, 1 away. If you're looking ahead to the 9th, the Rockies have the guys they want up there, McMahon, Goodman, and Tolia. Can't ask for anything more than that. 3-5 for Kepler. That's a double 1-17, single 18-20. And that is a double for Max Kepler. But they're depending on the bullpen to keep the Phillies at bay. And here's Nick Castellanos. That's a 1-8 for Castellanos. Ground ball to third. That'll hold the runner at second. 2 down for JT Realmuto. Realmuto 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts. It is a clutch situation. Realmuto in the clutch will lose a couple of hits. 2-3 and 2-5 and 2-9. 4-3 rather. I'm looking at the wrong dice in the wrong order. 4-3 is a ground ball first base X. That's Toglia. He's a 3-E-6. Has to make the play. 3-12 should be no problem. 3-12 is a G2. That's good enough. E6 he's got to avoid. 3-13 and 18. Did I say he had to avoid a 13? I think I said he had to avoid a 13, didn't I? E6, first base. 13 right here. 13, close up on the E6. 13. Close up on the dice. 13. Fortunately for him, it's a 1 base error. So it does not produce the run, but it keeps the inning alive. And now Bryson Stott has a chance to make something happen. Love to bring in the left-hander here to face Stott, but he's terrible. So I think they're going to stick it out with Bird. Bird should really be out of the inning. It's not his fault. That was just a bad time for an error. Not that it was a good time for an error, but that was a really bad time for an error. Here's Stott, clutch situation for Stott. In the clutch, he is neutral. 6'5" lefty. Ground ball shortstop X. Tovar's got to have it. Got to make the play. 2E16. 2 and a 13, he'll get to that, but the E16 is the problem. E16, he's got to avoid 14 and 17. He's bound to be able to avoid 14 and 17. And he does. And that will end the inning. So we're going to the 9th with a 1-run game. Jake Bird sneaks out 1 inning of pitching, gives up a hit, nothing else. We go to the top of the 9th, last chance for the Rockies. Phillies used their main closer, Jordan Romano, yesterday. So let's see if they have anybody that they consider a backup closer. Don't know that they do. Who's coming up for the Rockies? Lefty, right? Well, you know what? They're going to bring in Matt Strahm. Strahm does have 6 saves. He's 2-3, 2.74 ERA and 6 saves. So they're going to bring in Matt Strahm to try to close it, as they do have McMahon, a lefty, and then Toglia, who's better from the left side, in there as well. So they're going to bring in Matt Strahm to try to close the deal. Strahm's a +1, which makes him a -2. So it's going to be McMahon, Goodman, and Toglia. Goodman, and Toglia due up for the Rockies. 5-4, top of the 9th. I don't think the Rockies have been this close before, where they're batting in the top of the 9th to tie the game with 1 run. Here's McMahon. He's 2 for 3. 5-5 against the lefty. Struck him out. Matt Strahm gets the K. To bring up Hunter Goodman. How many times can you expect him to hit a home run, though? 2-7 for Goodman. He does get a base hit. 1-11 is a double. 12-20 is a single. That is a single for Hunter Goodman. Hunter Goodman is on. They wanted to pinch run for him, but I tell you what, you pinch run for him, you take his bat out of the lineup. And the only guys left on the bench are Kyle Farmer, Sean Bouchard, and Chris Bryant. And they all run at best a 13, and he runs at 11. So there's not that much difference. We're going to leave Goodman on the base paths. Here's Michael Toglia. Switch hitter, turn around bat right-handed. 6-2, and that's a walk from Strahm. Puts runners at first and second for Jordan Beck. And do they go to the bullpen again, or do they trust Strom here? Strom did have 6 saves, so they're going to let him pitch to Jordan Beck. 2-7 for Beck, and that's a strikeout. Big strikeout for Strom. And now it's down to Jacob Stallings, but he will not hit. He's a 134 hitter. So he will be called back, and they will go to a pinch hitter. They've got their choice, either Kyle Farmer, who hit 227, or Bouchardi at 167, or the nameless player, Chris Bryant, who's just gosh awful. So they're going to go with Kyle Farmer and pinch hit for Stallings here. So Farmer will get the call. Farmer pinch hitting in the 9th for Stallings. Clutch situation for Farmer against the lefty. He will gain a hit on 2-7. It's all down to this. 2 outs, 2 on. 5-4, top of the 9th. 3-8, and that's a pop out to third, and the ball game is over. The Rockies drop a heartbreaker and drop to 0-6 on the replay. Losing pitcher is Alexander. The winning pitcher with the 2 runs in the 7th inning. Let's see here. That's going to be Alvarado is the winner. He is the winning pitcher, and Strom gets the save. He goes 1 inning, a hit, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So final line score for the Phillies, 5 runs on 11 hits and an error. That error was on third baseman Bohm. And for the Rockies, 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. That was on the first baseman, Tolia. So there you have it. I want to do left on base real quick. We are looking at 1. They didn't leave very many. 1, 2, 3, just 3 left on base. Phillies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left on base. So nothing dramatic there at all. But there you go. Unfortunately, they can't quite pull it off. It's a loss. They dropped to 0-6. One bright spot was that Goodman hit his 3rd home run. The other bright spot was the bullpen. Bird got out of the mess, and Sensatella pitched 6 solid innings. That was a good, but their left-handed relief pitching is what is killing them. It's just hard to go to their left-handed relievers because they're both terrible. And even though he got the first 2 out in his appearance here, he gave up back-to-back home runs to Turner and Schwarber. Probably should have took him out after he gave up the home run to Schwarber, but I thought with 2 outs he could just get Turner out and get out of the inning. But that home run was the difference. Of course, the Rockies got a home run of their own from Moniak, but wasn't enough, and they fall 5-4. So tomorrow morning around 9-ish will be the final game of the 1987 replay for July the 1st. It'll be the Detroit Tigers at the Milwaukee Brewers. Trying to think who's on them. Walt Terrell for the Tigers against trying to think of who it is for the Brewers. And the name escapes me off the top of my head. But anyway, Tigers and Brewers. Tomorrow afternoon as well, I will go ahead and upload the unboxing I did with my mini little, I won't call it a rant, I'll just call it some lampoonish observations as I do the unboxing. It's only a 12-minute video, so there's not too much on there, but I'm sure I slide in some snide comments there, here and there. I don't call anybody by name. I just make some observations, and you may or may not recognize the traits that I'm observing. That's up to you guys. And then on Saturday morning, of course, you got the NBC game of the week. Well, actually Friday night. Forgot about that. Friday night we'll be in Colorado. Friday night is Colorado time. Home opener against the Athletics. See if they can get the win. Ryan Feltner gets the start for Colorado. And I'm not sure who it is for the A's. I think his name is Beto or something. Some guy I never heard of before. He's starting for the Athletics. And then, of course, on Saturday, NBC Game of the Week. And that'll be, I believe that will be, if I'm not mistaken, is that the Tigers and the Angels? I think it's the Tigers and Angels, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I already do Tigers Angels? I forget. Might have already done Tigers. If I did Tigers and Angels already, then it's going to be the Braves and the Dodgers from Atlanta. I think that's the actual game on Saturday. Sunday is Sunday Basic Sunday in 1962. It's the Pirates and the Cubs. And Saturday night, so Saturday morning or afternoon is the NBC Game of the Week. Saturday night, fourth and final round of the Valspar Championship from Florida. And I did upload this afternoon the first 3 rounds showing the cut and the setup for round 4, getting the final top 12 golfers and getting them all in place. So that's it from here. Hope you all have a great evening, whatever you have planned. Rockies dropped to 0-6. I believe they were 1-5 real world, so we're only 1 game behind pace here. But maybe home cooking is what they need. They're going to go home to the friendly confines of Coors Field, and maybe that will help them out a bit. We shall see. So that's going to do it from here. Let me see if I can get this to turn correctly for me. I think you see somebody. There's a visitor right there. There's a visitor right there. She's right here where I'm petting her. There she goes. Now she's going to look back. So for those that hung around to the end, you got a tabby sighting. Yeah, Thomas, it's going to make the pitching worse. It should help the offense, though. So I don't know. Maybe it'll hurt the other team's pitching, too. We shall see. But, I knew what I was signing up for when I signed up for this. But it was me and my stupid sense of humor when I put together the Rockies Horror Picture Show and the Rockies Horror Baseball Show and thought it'd be a good idea to do that. Sometimes I think of things that sound like a good idea at the time, but then maybe they aren't. But actually, I think this is a decent little thing to do. 59 games is pretty easy to keep up with. It gives me something to do in the evenings as far as streaming goes, because all my streaming is used in the daytime. So we shall see what happens. So again, hope you all have a great Thursday evening. Weekend is getting closer and closer to everybody. I believe tomorrow is a holiday, so some of you may work, but some of you may be off tomorrow. I know if you work for the government, I'm sure it's a holiday. So that's going to do it from here. I will put out the unboxing video tomorrow and see what kind of horrid feedback I get for my attempted sense of humor and attempt at lampooning certain YouTube activities that I see. In the meantime, maybe tomorrow I'll go for a walk and carry my corn around there with me and do a video. Who knows? You never know. All right, until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.